Meeting to order. Everybody have a chance to take a look at the minutes?
Move to approve.
Second.
Got a motion and a second for approval. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's approved. Discussion possible action on claims.
Claims this evening are $981,789.76.
Move to approve the claims.
Second.
Got a motion and a second to approve. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's approved. Discussion possible action on operators licenses.
Tonight, you're asked to recommend approval of 3 regular operator licenses contingent on payment of any outstanding debt owed to the city and successful completion of the background check for the period of March 13th, 2018 to June 30th, 2019 to Andrew Kenthammer, Jennifer Brenny, and Tracy Devansky.
Move to approve.
Second.
Got a motion and a second to approve. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's approved. Discussion possible action on temporary picnic license for St. Patrick's.
I'll move to approve.
Second.
Got a motion and a second for approval. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's approved. Discussion possible action on secondhand article dealer license.
Move to approve.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's approved. Discussion possible action on purchase of 2019 Blend Boss pre-wet system.
Kevin is here if there's any questions.
We discussed this at Public Works, and the Blend Boss is a really good controller piece of equipment that allows us to mix chemicals at a much more advanced combined level. Right now, we just pour them in a big bin and kind of hope for the best, right, Kevin? Yeah, so this eventually will allow us to pre-wet our streets and use less chemicals when we're removing snow and managing any kind of snow event. So it's the next step in being able to monitor and understand what chemicals we use on the roads, and that helps us comply with the MS4 permit, which is our stormwater permit with the DNR. So it's not a required at the moment, but it's just getting us better position, and we're just doing a better job managing chemicals in our city. So,
Kevin, it allows the city to use less salt, right?
What it basically will do when we're pre-treating our salt, when we're putting it down, it's actually activating our salt at a quicker rate, and it's putting the right amount of, right now we're using calcium chloride and the salt brine mix, but right now it's kind of a guessing game of how much we're putting of how much calcium chloride we're adding to our salt brine. So like if it's colder, we have to add calcium chloride to make the salt work, because at below freezing, the salt will not work all by itself.
So this will make the efficiency of using salt better.
Correct. And what we're trying to do is use less rock salt and more pre-wet.
I'll move to approve.
second.
Got a motion and a second to approve. Discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's approved. Thanks, Kevin. You're next probably too, huh? Discussion possible action on purchase of 2019 single axle truck.
This will be replacing 2001 Freightliner single axle plow truck that is 17 years old, and it's just time to rotate things out of our fleet, and we need to upgrade.
This is already in the budget.
Yep.
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 I'm gonna move to approve the bid from Nuss Truck, it looks like, for $288, excuse me.
Second.
Got a motion second for approval. Discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's approved. Discussion possible action on purchase of stainless steel dump box and plow accessories.
And this is the equipment that is mounted on that chassis.
Okay,
And Universal is a company that we've used in the past for the rest of the plow trucks that we have purchased.
I'll move to approve.
Second, I just have a question for you. Why are the bids split up?
Because the chassis comes from Mack, which is Nuss Equipment, and the body is installed by Universal.
Thanks. Did I second?
I don't think so.
Oh,
Did you?
second.
Okay.
I thought I did. Okay.
All right, we have a motion, a second. Discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's approved.
Thank you.
Thanks, Kevin. Discussion possible action on room tax or slash community subsidies budget.
I sent out the documentation. If anybody has any questions, or we upped the budget this year since we've had 2 years in a row of, substantially over what we had budgeted, so.
Once upon a time, oh, I'm sorry.
No, I just say, and whatever comes in, whether it's more than 250 or less than 250, 70% of it goes to the Chamber and Tourism Bureau. That's required by state law now.
Were you about to start to tell a story?
I was. Once upon a time, the Senior Citizen Center asked if we would up our contribution to cover the balance of the rent that they pay up there. And at the time, money was pretty tight, but it seems like we're at we have more undesignated fund balance than we have in the past, so I was thinking that maybe this would be a good time to talk about that.
Didn't we increase that
We
last year?
increased it last year, or the year before. I think it went from 25 to 4.
Right.
Yeah.
So I don't know what the remainder of, I think Tom, do you remember, wasn't it like 5,000 or something?
For what?
The Senior Citizen Center, the Senior Center? They had asked us if we would cover the balance of so they didn't have any monthly rent, is what the.
Wanted 5, settled for 4.
Right. And I think that was like in 2012, 13, when the revenues had been down, so.
It's an extremely valuable resource for our senior citizens. They do meals in-house and out-house. You can take a bus there, you can play, games. It's just a great way for our seniors to take advantage, and they can't really, and don't really necessarily take advantage of our parks or anything. So it just seems like that would be something that I would favor increasing if we.
Did
Or so
anybody,
inclined.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean
No,
to
go ahead.
step on you. Did anybody from the senior center contact?
No, not this year.
Last year we had a request from them for an increase, and we accommodated that increase.
What was it? What was it from what to what?
At one point it was 2,500, and I think it might have gone up to 3 or 3,500, and then I think last year it went up to 4. I'd have to look. I don't have all that in front of me, but I think it.
Why don't you find out what a concrete number is for their rent, and then
Right, because you will note there's an unallocated amount this year,
Right.
so.
I don't think it's dramatically higher. I think it's more like 5, but yeah, I would be willing to do that.
answer me one question: how is that tourism related? And I'm just playing devil's advocate.
Lots of people that live here, their parents come and visit and can take advantage of that as well. So, and I know people that have actually done that.
Where do they stay?
They stay at your house,
I'm not asking that.
Well, with Wintergreen, they have apartments.
Yeah, well, but where's the tourism related? And that's a stretch, but it's, ownerships want to know that.
Sure.
But you certainly could bring that, if you could get an amount, you could bring that back, and council could make a separate motion to amend this budget.
Okay,
at a
I'll do
future
that,
meeting.
sure. So we'll leave it as it stands and go from there.
And just a couple explanation things. Did the hot air fair make sense? That we double up this year and then we're funding a year ahead, because otherwise you've always funded them, but they're always a little worried that, because usually this takes place after the hot air affair. So I just thought this year, since we've got a little bit of wiggle room, then starting next year, it'll go back just to the 2,500. And they would be kind of for the following celebration.
Has the other cemetery in town ever asked for money from us?
St. Pat's? No.
Would they at some point if,
I don't know, but the city owns that cemetery, technically.
which one?
Hudson, that cemetery that we fund, the city owns
Willow
it.
River?
Yeah.
It's keeping us.
And I used to, well, I think you've heard me say this before, in a past job, I used to be the one that had to go out with the little stake and go down and measure out grave sites, and I don't know that,
You did?
that's because the city owned the cemetery. So what I'm saying is, you know, these people are doing a huge service to the city.
No, I have no doubt. I just,
But no, I think because we own it, it's different as opposed to St. Pat's, because that's privately owned.
right.
So the unallocated amount in 2017 was 600, and this year it's 15,100.
That's just because the budget went up. So there's just, you know,
Extra money?
essentially extra money that, for example, if you chose at some point to do something additional with the seniors, or if there was a project that came up this summer at the park, for example, or a trail or something that, you know, you wanted to allocate it towards, you could do that. And we would just, Brenda, correct, we just make a budget adjustment at that time, yes.
So do you want a motion?
Yeah.
A motion, I'll move to approve the allocation as set forth.
Second.
Got a motion, a second, discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's approved. I've got nothing for future agendas, anybody?
No?
No. I'll move to adjourn. I think.
Second.
Motion second to adjourn, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's approved, we stand adjourned. Thank you.